get the teams up? Yeah, you can start. We can start? Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship from Miramichi, New Brunswick at the Miramichi Curling Club. I have with me today in the booth, my name is Keith Rains, and with me is Jim Matheson and Pat Waldriff. And we're getting Jim hooked up here with the mic. This is tiebreak, and we have BC and Saskatchewan ladies, both with a 3-3 record. And Jim, do you have the lineups for the ladies?
I have the lineups here. It's it's Pat talking about the skip for BC is Laurie Olson, and mate Kelsey Martin. Second stone is Lisa Robitaille, and the lead Andrea Barassa, and they curl out at the MacArthur Island Curling Club in British Columbia. Saskatchewan team, the skip Elaine Semenko, mate Candace Newkirk, second is Melissa Johnson, and lead is Sherry Logan, and they curl out of Moose Jaw Ford Curling Center.
And in the other tiebreak today, we have Newfoundland taking on Manitoba. So there was no tiebreaks in the guys. Dodged a bullet there, didn't we, Jim? Or Pat. And so we just have two this morning. And then the winner of this game is going to be playing Ontario. And from that, whoever wins that game will go on to the semis and play Nova Scotia this evening at 6:30. So by coming first in the pool, you get a nice break, don't they?
They, in effect, get a bye and sit there and wait for their competition.
Yeah, they're still in the hotel relaxing.
Yes.
Manitoba, Newfoundland ladies, the winner of that will play Alberta and in a quarterfinal, and that will go at 1:30 this afternoon. And the winner of that match will go on this evening to play the #1 team from Northwest Territories, and they've done extremely well this week.
Yes, I read one interview they had with the skip of Northwest Territories, and she felt pretty amazed at what they had accomplished so far. And I agree with her, and I think a lot of people would, because coming from a small area with a lot of travel to try and make curling bonspiels and the expense that it costs up there, they don't get too much experience. So it is pretty amazing, and I really appreciate what they've done.
Sarah, the skip for Northwest Territories has played in different nationals with a couple different team, so she has experience and what it at least felt like to play in a national championship. These tie breaks were initially going to start at 8:30, but there was a decision meeting last night, and talked it over with the teams, and they said since there was no other tie breaks, just these two, that they thought they'd give them an extra hour and let them start at 9:30. So that's why the 9:30 start time. It was on the master schedule as 8:30, but we appreciate the 9:30. But I guess you guys never got the information, did you, Jim?
Well, the powers that be would be the Canadian Curling Association, and they first initially contacted their ice people, ice technicians, to see if the ice would be available, and that's how it started.
Yep.
I thought originally maybe just the on-ice officials made that decision, but it's the
well,
CCA
and we were just fortunate enough, Brian Fisher, the production, when we were leaving the rink last night, Chris Tapley is the ice man for here, and he goes, "Okay, boys, so see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. We go, 9:30? Oh, I thought it was 8:30. They go, no, it's going to be 9:30. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they knew at that time, but I wasn't notified either.
That's who's your man? Isn't that
Doty?
Doty.
Doty changed the temperature outside.
I saw Doty at the bar. I don't think he was doing his job.
Well, as a matter of fact, Doty came in early too, and he was amazed that the game wasn't starting. He said, "What are you doing down here?" And I said, "It's been delayed till 9:30."
Yeah, so Saskatchewan has the hammer, and this is, if you're tuning in for the first time, folks, because you've been busy working away, and you got the text or the email that the girls are in the tie break from you're supporting BC or Saskatchewan. They've done really well this week. There's been great competition and some upsets. So nothing's for granted. But I had an opportunity to watch the BC girls play once, and Lori Olson was rock solid in the game I saw. So I'm expecting a very good game here. These are 8 end games. So we will be taking a break after 4, a little 5-minute break, and then come back for the second half of the match.
Yeah, I think the first game I did, BC was playing Northern Ontario, and Lori did play a very good game.
So we're into skip stones now. And Lori's in the hack, and Saskatchewan is counting. They got shot rock so far. So Jim and Pat, you guys curl together.
We curl some together.
So
We try to not to tell too many people that. Pat and I curled in the firefighters for years. Actually,
okay.
Yeah, we went to nationals in '94.
They're not laying a brush on it. It's a little heavy.
It's going to slide out the back.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and Pat brought this up this morning, the girls were saying it's a little cool out there. And they've been used all week to playing with 12 teams out in the ice.
Yes.
And that changes. I noticed this week when there was a few teams that went to extra ends.
Yeah.
And all the other players had gone, the temperature changes a little bit. You got all that body temperature leaving the facility.
The ice tightens up, Keith.
Yes, yeah, and we noticed there were some draws that were affected by that at the end where the players didn't make that adjustment. And it happened to the New Brunswick team, once against them and once in their favor.
Yeah, and it happens to a lot of teams. They get used to that ice at a certain speed, and then when the temperature changes, the ice gets a little slower and normally.
Yeah.
And it does affect them.
Here's Elaine's first shot.
This rock should start to cut pretty hard. Should be almost on that red one.
Well, after
They're
she
holding it though.
Yeah, after she saw Lori slide through there so easy.
Yeah.
And I did the Scotties one year provincials, and I was fortunate to have Judy Blanchard up with me, and Judy, wife of Wade Blanchard, and Wade was a former world senior champion, and Judy was a former senior world champion with the Heidi Hanlon rink out of Thistle St. Andrews and St. John. And she said, "Keith, I'm a firm believer having my sweepers involved in all my rocks, because she says one thing they can do for me is they can make the rock go 4 to 6 feet further, but they can't do a bloody thing to slow her up."
Yeah.
Right? So Judy says, "I'm a firm believer." And you watch this today, is like sometimes you see the rock go and the sweepers aren't touching, and you go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Olson's last rock. It's important she hits some sticks here because there is a moose chow biter at the back of the rings, back of the 12-foot.
That's a nice shot. Like to have a little roll.
And she does get it too.
Yeah.
Makes it a little harder to pick that out of there.
Both skip steady. In the round robin go, their second game of the round robin, Saskatchewan defeated British Columbia 7-4. Very tight game.
This is a little quieter than it normally is up there during the week. There's usually a big crowd around behind you and lots of noise going on, bottles clinking.
Well, I was saying to a few of the things, usually when we have a championship and we upstairs, nobody's loud up here. but media and the timers.
Yeah.
And like, it's great to have the people come up if they're going to watch. But we had the odd occasion where there were some tables and they weren't really interested in what was happening on the ice.
Yeah.
Lefty Mashenko,
The
tap
left-handed
back.
curler.
You gotta like those lefties.
A lot of movement.
I'm a
Hold
lefty,
it
so
hard.
yeah, trying to hold that line. Oh, she gets it by. Beautiful shot.
Just
Big
barely
deuce early.
squeaked by there.
Yeah, gets her two.
The sweepers held that one. for
Yeah,
her.
nice to get a shot like that earlier on.
Johnstone and Logan earned their keep there on that one.
Yeah.
They really swept hard to get that by.
Good job. Well, while we have a moment, I'll just go down the standings, how we all got to this juncture. In the women's play in Pool A, Northwest Territories and Alberta finished at 5-1. Saskatchewan and British Columbia, this is why they're here right now, they finished at 3-3. Northern Ontario and Quebec 2-4, and Nunavik 1-5. And in Pool B action, that was a log jam too. Nova Scotia, Ontario, Manitoba, and Newfoundland Labrador, all with 4-2 records. New Brunswick was 2-4, Prince Edward Island 2-4, and Yukon 1-5. But what a great testament
Yeah.
to
4
the
teams tied for first place.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
And
that awesome?
Nova Scotia was given overall first place and Ontario second place, even though the records were all similar.
And-
I think that was in play against each other, the way they figured that, wasn't it?
And the PEI girls, get a load of this, who were winless coming into yesterday's play, knocks off Ontario. Were down 7-1, came back and won 8-7. And then in the evening draw, they played Nova Scotia, who at that time was 4-1 in first place. Nova Scotia had 7 rocks counting, and
First
PEI
time.
had their shot, and it went off of something, and it ended up shot rock, and everybody in the place went crazy. And PEI came on and won that game 7-3 last night.
It
So that-
shows you the parity here at
Yes,
the tournament.
exactly,
Keith. It's,
exactly. So
2-4 PEI.
Owner mistake.
2-4 PEI, and they
Two
knocked out the
playoff-
top 2 teams in the pool.
2 playoff teams, bound
Yeah.
teams.
That's,
Amazing.
An amazing feat, all right.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen every day.
No. Oh no.
Sometimes the gods are with you, and sometimes they're not.
Yeah. Just trying to want this to curl.
Just a little warm behind the tee line. But
Yeah,
behind
deuces
cover, too.
have become hard to come by this week in a lot of the games. Like I know in the perfect world we love to score 2 with the hammer, but in some cases they have been difficult to come by. So for Saskatchewan to come out right off the hop, a quality shot there to finish off the first end and get there too, they have to
Sure.
feel good about that.
Well, that's always what you're looking for, is a gain 2 with the hammer, and anything more than that is a bonus. But
Just a bit wide
Yeah.
and a bit heavy.
And there's what we were talking about, that ice, Jim. That could be a little factor here earlier on.
gonna-
I was referring to Bob Euchre. Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
a bit outside.
Little baseball.
Good
see
setup
what I-
here now for Saskatchewan. They tuck this around top 4, top 8. It's going to make it difficult for, just early in the end, it's going to make it difficult for British Columbia to get to the house in the outturn, get to the button.
Actually, this
How's the time looking?
that was hog to hog. That was 15.1, so that's pretty fast ice.
Yeah.
That's faster than most of the week that I've been doing this. It was around 14.2 to draw it right to the button.
Okay.
So 15.1 is a little bit quicker. You've been sweeping it all the way.
Well, and you've seen that in Lori's shot, her first shot in the first end, and one of the team shots in the second here where it just slid by.
Yeah, they're just.
So, and it's all about adjustments, right?
And they'll get to it.
Yeah.
Won't take them too long, I don't think.
Trying to hold that line there. Get it by that guard. By it.
They got it by. Make the
Nice shot.
Whew. That was sweet. Takes you out of trouble early.
We got to give a shout out to who was that?
Good call by the skipper there, Lori Olson. She decided to get that top rock. Read the ice perfectly.
That was Lisa Robitaille?
I think it was
Lisa, yeah.
And I was going to make a note of
Second
that.
stone, yeah.
A left-hander on either team.
Well, I know the ladies are very happy to all the support that they're getting back home, and just want to have a shout out to the curling clubs and all their family and friends that got up early this morning, because it is very early out on the West Coast, to support them as they play and here at Vibe TV1. And we're happy to be bringing you this broadcast, as we have all week, and the great support of the many volunteers that we've had at the Miramichi Curling Club. I know the teams, there's 28 teams here altogether, 14 men, 14 women's, and they've had a great week of curling. We're going to be sort of on a curling hangover after this, because this has been the spot to be here this week, is at the Curling Club. Great crowds.
Great crowds, good entertainment in the evenings,
Yeah.
and it's
So trying
really
to try
fun time watching these. This is probably the biggest curling event we've had here for quite a while, and I hope all the ones that came down and joined, they seem to enjoy the area and the curling club. They tell me that they like the ice and the swing, and can't ask for more.
Well, we were just talking about the ice. Chris Tapley is the head iceman, as we say.
Sure.
Chris is from the Fredericton area, but his qualifications are impeccable. He's done different national championships. He has gone away with the ice team for international events.
Yeah.
So he brings a wealth of experience, but he has kudos to the staff here too, as you fellows have hosted different provincial events.
Yes.
At this venue. This is a new venue, 9-10 years old, a beautiful facility, 6 sheets of ice, and it's a quality surface to play on. And when you have that, then you can host national championship events.
That's right, and we've hosted the men's here in New Brunswick to see who's going to the Briar, and Chris usually comes up and has a look at our ice too for those events. So he's been around here for a while.
There's a nice shot.
Kelsey Martin with a really nice shot.
And it's going to stick around.
Newkirk's rock came to the top of the 12-foot, just a bit light.
Yep.
And
left that rock open.
Kelsey with the intern punches that through.
Jim is our eyes.
Well,
keeps your shooter in place. So the line
just into the conversation, and
he's there. He's the hot guy out here. He's keeping an eye on the ladies.
I'm just thinking this is
the
Warriors playing the Blazers here.
We get off in bad. I was fortunate this week. Sometimes is like the team that had like yellow on, like Alberta or Manitoba, they had yellow rocks. It was good. Yeah. And the teams that had like Newfoundland and Ontario and whatnot, they were red and they had red rocks. I said, oh, this is great. But we don't have that here, because every time I look down, I say, oh, BC sitting there. They go, no, they're the Saskatchewan rocks.
but the next sheet, those colors are working
See,
out well.
They're working out well. We may have to move our cameras over there.
I like Olson's call here, Keith. She's come in the intern.
Come right in.
She's just going to ignore those 2 rocks, yellow rocks that belong to Saskatchewan.
BC does have the hammer this end.
Yes, they do.
This will track, or rather curl.
It starts to curl
coming
hard
in.
there. Yeah. They're trying
He's
to
biting.
Really cuts hard.
Yeah.
There.
Top of the house weight.
She needed just a...
It's in a good position for promotion. Let's see what Saskatchewan does now.
The winner of this will be playing this afternoon at 1:30. And then tonight, the championship semifinals in the men's and women will be getting underway. The men will be playing this afternoon, the quarterfinals too, at 1:30. There was no tie breaks in the men's, and after this end, I'll go down the playoff, the final standings in the men's division.
The winner of this tiebreaker actually plays Ontario.
Yep.
At 1:30. So Ontario girls are, I'm sure, resting this morning. Perhaps they're watching or listening, getting the feel for the ice.
We had, just to give you a weather update at home, it's been sunny here, but minus 14 sunny, with a wind chill of minus 19.
Yeah, well, the wind's blowing pretty heavy out there.
The wind.
Lots of wind here.
What do they call the wind?
And some of it upstairs there.
A lot of hot air up here.
Mashenko's intern.
She's trying to
come through the port.
Trying to draw. I think we do have 2 left-hand curlers in this game.
Look at
They're
that.
really working
Get that
on this.
in there. Oh, it just nudges it a bit, because that would have been buried.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah.
That's 3.5, good 4 feet of curl. And they didn't pick that up until they got about a third of the way down the ice.
Here comes Olsen's first shot. She prepares.
Should be throwing a takeout at this for sure. Well, it's still open.
Lovely yesterday when you didn't win. I know. Yeah, exactly.
Olsen with a chance to hit and roll under.
I believe her
Trails
father
by 2.
coaches this team, eh?
Looks like it's wide open. Appears to be. Nice solid delivery, Pat.
Yeah, she has a really smooth release.
Well, there she gets a still exposed.
Chance for a little bit of a hit and roll here now.
They kind of get caught in between there, whether they wanted to curl a little more
Yeah.
or they could have taken it like under the corner. That's could be used at biting the 12-foot.
Yeah. I think
Shenko can see most of that rock.
most of it, and
She will
gets
throw her
about-
out turn now.
gets about 3/4 of that. She could be buried here. But Olsen will still have a chance for that red rock to promote that red rock in front of her. Right back on it, I think.
Final shot for the Saskatchewan skip.
Everybody holding their breath. Do some curl here too.
They're holding the line. Good shot, gets in behind. Nice shot by Elaine.
Was a good
To lie 3.
Really good shot. She threw pretty good weight at that too.
And
Somebody
now-
came to play this morning.
Yeah, someone had their Wheaties.
Very nicely done.
And speaking of Wheaties, I guess we should have a little shout out to our sponsors. Some of our sponsors here: Pizza Light, Subway, the City of Miramichi, the Province of New Brunswick, Curling NB, Jet Ice, Tim Hortons, and obviously our presenting sponsor, Travelers. Towns Auto has been a great supporter. Ford, Chrysler, and Mazda dealerships. They have been transporting the teams to and fro hotels and any place else they had to go in between. So the crew have been on 16-hour shifts, I think.
A lot of drivers.
Yeah.
Skipper Olsen has her hands full here. She decided that they're going to try the intern And that's to promote their red. That's number 4 on the top of the ring. Keep in mind, Saskatchewan lies 3 yellow. Three yellow counters.
A big shot here.
Foot.
It is a big
This
shot.
is early. This is a big shot early, and you're down 2-0.
There's
And you certainly don't want to give up
much ice as she take.
a single or a
Here,
deuce
this
here.
rock really bust across there. But she's played this sheet before, so
Like this call, she didn't have a whole lot to choose from. But she has to get it by the top, and she has to get some action on this promoted stone.
No.
she gives up 1.
Steal the 1.
Not bad considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
What could have been down 3-0 now after 2 ends, but they retain the hammer going to the 3rd.
Well, and just to give you an update on, well, I'll do the men's pool first, and we'll come back to the scores that the girls had this week. In the men's side, in Pool A, Nova Scotia and Manitoba were 5-1. Quebec men, and it was really good the way the draw sort of worked out. Their last match was against Alberta, and at that time they were tied. And the winner of that was going to finish 3rd. And Quebec went extra end and defeated the men from Alberta. So Quebec finished 4-2, and Alberta was 3-3. Yukon 2-4. Prince Edward Island 2-4. Nunavik was 0-6. In Pool B action, British Columbia were 6-0. Saskatchewan 5-1. Ontario 4-2. So there's your top 3 finishes. Northern Ontario 3-3. New Brunswick 2-4. Newfoundland Labrador 1-5. And Northwest Territories 0-6. So that is the final standings in the men's side of. And like we had said, there was no tiebreakers needed in that division.
Got some really good curlers in the men's division. I watched a few games, called a few, and quite impressed with the talent there.
Yeah. That BC sword was just a quiet 6-0, right? Because you're looking at, Manitoba, Ontario, and they just went out and did the business.
Yeah. It's kind of surprised at some of the teams. You seem to expect more from Manitoba or Alberta.
You can. Jim's going to give us an update. What's happening in the other side, Jim?
Second end with hammer. Manitoba scores big 3-spot. The lead 3-0 there. So both games 3-0. Manitoba leads on sheet D. And Saskatchewan is leading our game on E by a score identical 3-0 scores.
And the winner of the Manitoba Newfoundland game will play Alberta at 1:30 this afternoon, and the winner of that quarterfinal will go on to play the Northwest Territories this evening at 6:30.
The quarterfinal ices will be different, I was told, but the possibility exists of the semifinal and the final. Teams playing, if you make it to the final, you might be on the final, play the semifinal and the final on the same sheet.
Okay.
So for those curlers that are back in the rod, taking this in, nothing's been determined yet as far as the.
And I think the good thing is, I think the ice is, from what I've heard, unless you guys are, pretty consistent from 1 through 6.
Right across the board.
Yeah, it seems to be the same amount of curl on all the sheets, and the speed's the same. So you don't have to do say, well, there's a lump in that sheet, and we're going to get way bent out of shape here or something.
But Pat, as you know, like playing in a tournament such as this, if you play 2 games and say sheet B, and your quarterfinal is over on D, and you only played 1 there, you prefer to play on B because you're more familiar with both sets of stones. I know they have 10 minutes practice prior to each game. You can get
sometimes
like things are just going to work out for you, and that's psychologically one of the thin line for these curlers.
I don't know if people track rocks as much as they used to or not, Jim. They seem to be sharpening them all, and they keep changing or something on you. You used to go to a club from one year to the next, and you know which rock was a cutter and which one wasn't. So.
Well, sandpaper has definitely been added to every ice maker's kit.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan is still sitting shot rock.
Saskatchewan line 1 in the rings, BC number 2. I'm sure the BC skip Olsen would like to get a deuce here. I think it's not to panic, although you're down 3 and it's an 8-end game. You'd still like to score in this end. Get a deuce and get back into this thing, tighten it up.
I was watching all week. They give them 30 minutes playing time, and I think some of the clubs have never been here,
not used to the
clock. Time clock, and didn't know how to do their time properly, because a couple of the early games, I seen the Nova Scotia women's skip with 20 seconds left for make her last shot, and she had to call the timeout. They had still had a timeout left to get down the ice, so she'd be able to make it in time.
And there's little things you can do. It's just like we talk about ready golf.
Yeah.
Like get over your ball, get ready to hit it when you can, and because if you divide 8 ends into your 30 minutes, you're about 3.5 minutes.
Well, that's what
an end, right?
I was doing yesterday when Mr. Barth was in there, Cam Barth, doing some commenting with us, and he was talking about his skip. He said he spends no time in the hack. He said, just time him next time. So I waited till he put his foot in the hack until they're pushed off.
Yeah.
And he was about 7 or 8 seconds every time.
Yeah.
And that's, he makes up his mind when he's going to shoot, and he just gets in the hack and throws it. He's not sitting there.
Well, and what we do, what I've been doing is keeping track at the end of 4.
Yeah.
To see are they plus or minus at the halfway juncture, right?
Well, Kelsey liked to keep her shooter in play here. She made a nice clean up front end to get the 4-foot path open for her skipper.
She's going to bounce her red one right onto that number 1 shot.
And keep the shooter. Let she roll under cover.
Yeah. Very good.
So now BC sitting 1-2.
Pretty tight together.
Pretty tight.
An opportunity for
bounce
Newkirk
just about straight sideways and make the double there. It's
Candace Newkirk.
Yeah. We're going after the outside one first.
Well, bang, bang. Oh, she gets one. BC still shot.
Yeah, she got a little too thick.
Yeah. I was saying that we can plant this seed for the next time we have a big event here, guys, is maybe we should get a furniture company to sponsor and we get real comfy chairs up here.
Maybe they'll
Huh? What do you think?
Maybe they'll put us up in a booth.
Yeah, no. No, it's all right. I like it in here. I like the temperature up in here.
A wish list.
This is good.
Christmas.
As a matter of fact, it's nice to have a crowd behind you too, making the noise. Sometimes helps.
Olsen with the hit, and she'd like to get there. She's going to split her rocks. Nicely done.
Yeah.
In-turn takeout.
That was Martin with the shot. That'd be her last shot. Yeah, we're down to skip.
That's the
Skip stones.
Kelsey Martin with that. Having a good game here from BC.
Did she get a triple on D? Not quite, eh?
If you hear the bells ringing, or the cowbells ringing, that means Manitoba has made a good shot.
Well, you're just looking at 3 reds in there and knocked 2 of them out and the other one almost up. They're all in the 4-foot.
So that's when you know something's happening on the other sheet, for Manitoba anyhow.
Yeah.
Here's the first shot.
In-turn takeout. Mushmako.
She's going to try to hit her. It's going to be close. No.
Yeah. Well, exposes that BC rock. Everything looks so nice and easy up here, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah,
Huh? We are like the best curlers. Well, here, all you got to do is you got to just hit it off the inside of that one and take her over and take the other one out. What's the problem?
You don't make too many mistakes up here.
Yeah.
Hit and rolls look so easy.
You get back and you sit in that hack, and then you look down that ice and you go, ooh, maybe there's not much room there as I thought.
Yeah, it looked better when I was standing down there holding the broom.
Yeah. We've all had that experience, but you'll see some of the curlers. They'll keep looking back, visualizing it, and then when they get in the hack, it doesn't seem as.
Yeah, if you're following the rocks, if you're skipping, you're following the rocks down the ice, you get to know that what bend on it with the weight. So, yes, lots of times you have that confidence that you can do that with. No
Olsen with an opportunity here. Where's the shooter going to end up? Without setting up a Saskatchewan double. See what the result is here.
Trying to get the inside.
Oh,
Gets one out.
Nicely done.
But Saskatchewan is still sitting second rock.
Takes the double away. Well placed.
She's going to try and draw right in somewhere where she won't leave a double and maybe only give up 1 or 2. Might be a draw for 2. She's got to get this rock in play, though. She looks like she's very confident.
Yeah.
We just hear another bell ringing there.
That little, Christmas is coming.
I know.
So this is the last shot for the Saskatchewan, as BC has shot rock.
They haven't touched it.
No.
Judy Blanchard would not be happy.
And
Now they're on it. Boy, that biting in hard.
Yeah, that caught something.
Did you see that?
Well, 4 feet in front of the
Wow.
in that bit.
And they just were a little late.
Because her draw was.
So important to clean rocks.
Yeah.
When she was a little
Just
bit
keep
heavy,
it clean, like just basically, and then boy, but that was going, and then all of a sudden she just bit in.
Yeah, sure.
So here we are. BC is shot.
Only
John
just
You know
Stone
what?
and
She-
Logan
if she
looking
could-
at themselves down there.
If she could just nudge that BC rock in the 8, get that little push.
I think that's looks like what she might be trying.
Yeah, and just knock that Saskatchewan out. She could count 3.
Yes, she could.
Giddy up.
looks like she's going to play the raise onto her red and roll the shooter into the 4-foot.
Yeah. I concur.
The number 2 Saskatchewan rock has to move about a foot.
Patty, you like that?
Oh, well, that's what it looks like she's playing.
Well, see, we got a quorum here. That's enough. So either we all agree or 2 against 1. So here's the final shot.
Not throwing a lot of weight, is it?
Well, the sweepers are on it. Did she get it too far inside?
Yeah, the yellow one.
Yeah. Rolls over. Oh, it rolls away from the. Oh, get the back roll, but not enough. Just 1. Well, that was an opportunity missed. Saskatchewan breathes a sigh of relief.
He's still looking at it, but oh so close to getting that 3-under.
I think they called for a measure, did they?
Well, they just want to see.
No, they're taking
no. So what has happened over in our other tiebreaker, Jim?
Well, Newfoundland with the hammer in the top of the 3rd picked up 1. They trail now 3-1. Manitoba with the hammer here, coming home in the 4th prior to the break. With 1 rock in play, the top of the 4-foot.
Well, I'll give you an update on how these teams got here from a scoring perspective. British Columbia started off the championships with a 9-7 victory over Northern Ontario. Lost a tough one, 9-7 to those Northwest Territory girls. Lost again to Saskatchewan, who they're playing here, 7-4, and I think Jim indicated that earlier in our broadcast. Then they had a big victory over Quebec, 11-2 and 12-3 over Nunavik. And then they just couldn't get things going in their last game, and they lost 8-1 to Alberta. So they finished at 3-3, but sort of on a down note coming into this tiebreaker. Saskatchewan ladies lost 5-3 to Alberta, defeated BC 7-4. Defeated Nunavik 12-5, lost 7-4 to the Northwest Territories. A very exciting game, knocking off Northern Ontario 4-3. Before another surprise team yesterday that hadn't won, the Quebec girls.
Yeah.
They won their 2 games yesterday, and they were some excited. They knocked off the Saskatchewan team 5-4 yesterday, and the Quebec girls just finally put it all together and came out strong and finished off the tournament or the championship in great fashion, winning both their games like PEI had done.
Much the same way as PEI.
Yeah,
Very exciting
yeah.
games, big comeback.
Yeah. So leaving definitely on a positive note. You couldn't kick the smile off their face last night when they came up here for a bite to eat, and happy that they finally start clicking.
Broke through.
Yeah.
The language barrier. No, they've Quebec men were curling quite well for.
Oh yes, they had some. Well, they had an extra end game against Yukon. Yukon played very well against them, and they won that to set up that last game of the round robin against Alberta to decide who was finished 3rd.
Yeah.
And that went extra end. So 2 huge emotional victories for the Quebec band yesterday to get into the playoff hunt.
Yes, for sure. And I seen the very first game we did here, I was telling you, was BC and Northern Ontario, and that game you said they won, BC won 9-7, and that was an extra end game that they won into. You're getting a little drama for your first game. You have to go to an extra end.
Get the blood flowing.
Yeah. So this is curling here, isn't it?
With the long guard, Sherry Logan with the pushback on the rock and the 4-foot. Saskatchewan lies 2. With the hammer, and they're up 3-1. We're playing the 4th end.
And we will take a break, folks. For the folks out in BC, or where it's a little early there, and you might want to get the breakfast going now, or get a second cup of coffee.
The first cup.
Yeah.
And send one down here for us, too.
So they'll have a short 5-minute break before they. And the time seems to be rather good for both teams. Like I said, they have a 30-minute thinking time, and that doesn't seem to be any issue here. I always take a look at it at the halfway juncture to see where they're if plus or minus on the 15 time. And
Johnstone with a nice stone.
I had one game this week, and Newfoundland ladies timed out on their last shot.
Yeah, I heard about that. They just wicked that rock.
How they have in football, you know, that 2-minute warning. The ones who can take advantage of it, great, and the others can make it look bad.
That's why you have to save your timeouts, too.
Yeah.
Sandwich them around the 2-minute.
Yeah, they're going to get a roll here, and that's just going to roll out.
So Saskatchewan still got one in the rings, and both skips seem to be pretty calm. And this is just to get into the playoffs.
Yeah. This is one of these bonus games. They decide to phone each other and say, hey, let's not hear the ice open. Why don't we want to play?
We'll play, yeah.
Yeah, let's play.
Going to be nobody there in the morning.
Well, and the challenging thing from not only a physical component, but on the mental side is most of these teams have played like one or they played 2 games max this week per day. Technically, if this one of these teams, well, there will be one win, and they'll go to a quarter, and if they win that, then they'll have to play their 3rd game.
Yeah. It'll be different for them.
It'll be tough, and that's physically, you know, you're sweeping and whatnot. The body is, and then on the mental side, the concentration and whatnot, and sometimes it gets can wane a bit.
But they're young and strong.
Very young. They're kids.
Yeah.
A little nudge, and BC is shot, but Saskatchewan, who has the hammer, has 2 others, second and third.
Asking for some weight here on this shot.
That rock was just a bit heavy. It had to be in front of the
Just never.
It's exposed now, and Saskatchewan girls are going right after it.
Just a little wide here.
Sorry to come in. She'll get a piece of it. Job done.
It out.
Yeah.
She was just a little wide on that shot because tried to put that extra oomph on it. Set it out a little bit.
Pat has the best seats in the house here. He's right on center, so he can help us with that. Pat is a little off
You're going to sit in the seat after the break.
No. No. I got the Hawkeye to my left here. He's keeping track on both games, and I got Pat keeping an eye on the line.
Keeping you in line.
Yeah, that's a full-time job right there. Got to hit and stay. There is a guard way up, center guard, just inside the hog line there.
Yeah, it's a long one. That was put there very early. They're coming down and make a play on this. This rock does curl, but with weight they should be able to hold this.
Hit and roll out.
Yeah.
I think she would like to have that to stay, obviously.
For sure.
More rocks the merrier for Saskatchewan, but
decision time. Olsen initially looked at coming under the guard, the long guard. I think Martin convinced her to play the takeout and get the roll. Nothing generated, not much generated this end for
No.
British Columbia. Saskatchewan with the hammer, playing a clean game.
Should be probably wanting some kind of a roll here, preferably toward the middle. Make the next shot a little more difficult, but that's hanging out.
Hanging out there.
Hanging out.
She's going to peel it. Nothing in the house. I think we're going to be looking at a blank end here.
Unless you can hide this
Yeah,
someplace.
and she get this in behind the guard, and it depends what Laurie does. That will indicate.
Take an ice right in the middle of the 12-foot.
It's going to be the first shot for Elaine. So she'll try to make it as difficult as possible for Laurie. And if Laurie takes it out, then she might just say, well, let's just hold on that for one more end.
Well, she'd probably prefer to take two in the middle.
Yeah. You get the hammer. You can take two, go up 5-1. That's big.
Yeah.
Sheet D, they're down to Skip Rocks. Newfoundland is line 1-2. Manitoba's 3 with the hammer. Skipper's going down. There's a chance for a double. 8 foot to the center line. Keep you posted.
That's our roving reporter, Jim Matheson.
Don't pull any faux pas. Like, remember, look at that little monkey run.
Great weight there from Mashenko. She did have a lot of ice pad. I think she was just I don't know, a third of the way onto the 12 foot.
Now, Laurie would like to
5
hit
feet
that
to
and obviously stay. And maybe even get a little roll.
Almost missed that altogether.
Pat's looking at the other sheet, folks. We're not on a time delay. Laurie hasn't shot yet. Here comes the shot now.
Looks pretty good.
Final shot for BC. We have a nose hit there. Oh, she gets a little roll. Nice shot, Laurie.
It's open on the other side.
Yeah.
A lot of the curl on this sheet, when it does come in, is from the hog line in, so that red rock up just over the hog line probably shouldn't come into effect. But
BC's a plus 113 in the thinking time, so they've got lots of time for the second half of the game. They haven't used any of their timeouts yet.
yeah, for sure.
And Saskatchewan is a good almost minute and a half ahead of that. 17:45, so 2:45 bonus. Here is the final shot of the fourth end.
She's got this.
And she probably just like to hit and roll out herself, and perfect, beautiful shot. So Saskatchewan will keep the hammer as we go to break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. And Jim, we've got final shot over here in
Newfoundland line 1 top 4 foot right on the center line with 3 guards out front. McCrainer, the Manitoba skip, is going to elect to come full 4 foot with the in-turn draw. She's about the middle of the 12 foot with her ice. And she just gets set here in the hack. We're just going to wait momentarily till this rock finishes.
Yeah, she's got to draw full 4.
yeah.
Most of this end has been played on the outturn, so we'll see what happens.
It's the final
over there.
shot for Manitoba. Manitoba is up 3-1.
Will we hear the bells ring?
That's when you can tell if it's a good shot or not.
She needs full 4. And there's a beauty.
Listen, listen.
T-line.
There it is. You heard it. So
4-1 lead.
Yeah, Manitoba. So we'll take a short break, folks, and we'll be back for the second half action here from the 2018 Canadian Travelers Club Championships from Miramichi, New Brunswick, and the Miramichi Curling Club. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship. Miramichi, New Brunswick, Miramichi Curling Club. Keith Rains, Jim Matheson, and Pat Waldriff with you here in Tiebreak Friday. We have in our featured match BC Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan's up 3-1 And they have the hammer in our other match going on, Manitoba and Newfoundland ladies, and Manitoba has a 4-1 lead at the turn. So what's your thoughts, gentlemen, on those first 4 ends?
Well played game. That's 3-1 Saskatchewan. Skipper's playing very well, but Olsen's had some opportunities taken away from her from the good play with the Saskatchewan team. But although it's 3-1, British Columbia is certainly in this match.
Not too far behind at all. Just a few breaks, and this could easily be tied here.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously the key thing for BC here is to try to hold Saskatchewan to a single. So the most they'd be down 4-1. Of course, as it has happened a lot this week, there's been a lot of stealing going on. We're getting close to Christmas, but boy, there's been a lot of steals.
Yeah, they haven't got the Christmas spirit yet.
No. Well, put it this way, and I'm trying to remember the PEI girls, speaking of steals, were down 7-1 at the break. With a hammer, though. They came back after the break. They got their 2. Okay, 7-3. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Ontario with a hammer. Ontario didn't score another point. BC PEI girls ladies won 8-7. Down 7-1, win 8-7.
No, that's outright robbery there.
That is outright robbery.
They'll
be down at the courthouse on Monday for that. But that's what can happen. So, we were thinking, okay, should get a single, hold a single. Well, hey, maybe they can steal the odd point here and there. That's why you folks are watching. That's why we're here to keep. You never know.
No, for sure you don't. It's just like what do the Aussies say? Good on you, mate.
Andre Bourassa for their second shot, back of the 4-foot, full 8-foot for British Columbia. Sherry Logan put 2 Saskatchewan rocks in the ring, so we're building up to something here. We're in the 5th end.
These teams both had a record of 3-3. They did play in against each other, and Saskatchewan were the victors in that, which they won 7-4. But that's all thrown out the window now, as we're into the board has been wiped clean, and
this is a new chapter.
It's a new chapter, and the winner of this game will be playing Ontario in a quarterfinal, and that will be 1:30 Atlantic time. And the winner of that match will play this evening at 6:30.
Malaysia Johnstone, sorry to interrupt
Yep,
here, Keith.
no.
A lovely intern draw, right, full 4-foot. July 1 for Saskatchewan.
They'll play Nova Scotia tonight at 6:30.
Robitaille asked for the takeout.
Got it. I think maybe they were looking for a run back there too, if possible, but they had to get that stone out of there anyway.
So what is on the social calendar tonight? We had James Mullinger last night. Don't know?
I don't know.
No.
I won't be here. I have another party to go to.
And you have another gathering?
Another party.
Another party. These are just,
I'm
these.
going to hang hockey sweaters at the Civic Center.
Oh, does it get any better than that?
There you go. We had the shadow boxes built. We're ready to go.
I'm going for food.
Food. That's your social function for tonight.
No, it's.
Did you stick around for James last night? Anybody?
No, I didn't.
I've heard him locally a couple of years ago. How was this?
I don't. We went, ate in bed.
I heard it was excellent. I was talking to some people downstairs, and they said it was excellent here last night. So.
He's originally from Great Britain.
England, yes.
Yeah,
he moved to New Brunswick there.
He lives in St. John, right?
Yeah.
St. John, New Brunswick.
No, I'm going with some of my old fire department buddies tomorrow night to a thing we've been running for, what, 40 years now? 30 years anyway.
Yeah.
It's called.
I might be stopping in there, Pat. Wow, you want to explain what that is? The
So
wild.
we call it Wild Meat Night.
Okay.
It's whatever game you cut this year, you make like a potluck dish and you bring it down. Everybody
Okay.
brings that and we all share. So
Now, where is this gathering taking place at?
it's at
Secret location?
it's called the Fire and Knights Hall.
Okay.
Knights, that's with a K.
You're
Yeah.
invited, Keith. If you want to come by later, try some Atlantic
Gamey.
goose, fowl, beaver. We even had bear one year, but there'd be moose meat there.
Oh.
Deer meat.
We've tried porcupine and different things there.
Yeah.
Most of it's pretty good. You have to wash some of it down.
Yeah. There's a hit and a roll. And
And a fall.
I just had a buddy return from Wainwright, Alberta on an elk hunt. He plays hockey with us. He's from Dopetown, about 50 miles west of here. Very successful.
so BC has shot rock still,
Yes,
but
they do.
Saskatchewan is 2, 3, and 4.
Yes, they have.
And Saskatchewan has the hammer. And you were saying there's a fifth you're going to give a shout out to.
Their coach, Ray Olson, prior to the game said, don't forget Andrea, or Teresa Turan. Teresa. So Teresa's the fifth player from BC rink. And they play out of the MacArthur Island Curling Club in Kamloops. Also a shout out to the Kamloops Curling Club. These girls play in both clubs in their Mondays, and I think it's Monday, Wednesday league. So hello to everybody there,
Good morning.
and good morning.
You know it's cold when the snow that you're walking on squeaks. And it's been squeaking for a few days since I've been up here.
With me, I think it's my bones.
Crunch, crunch.
I
Shout
tell you,
out to
as a kid, though, the parking lots are awesome for hockey. Like, you know, we used to play with a sponge puck.
Yeah.
Like, but you only could play with sponge puck when the snow was really patted down, like either on your street if they didn't put salt or sand on it, or the parking lots. And these parking lots are awesome.
Pat and I played with a rock. There was no sponge puck.
Oh, yeah.
The round
back in
rock, you can
back
put
in the
back
good old days.
Well,
We played with on the street. We played tennis ball and stuff, but
when I
you
was
could bring
playing-
out the sponge. It felt like you're really, you know,
I didn't have the sponge ones. We were using
It's a
horse
nice
apples,
shot.
Look at this.
get a hit, the roll. She looked like she's going to stick around.
We used a
No.
lot of horse apples playing for hockey on this.
Okay.
It tells you how old I am.
Yeah.
Horse apples.
Horse apples. That's a new one. But no, we used to
They
like.
work pretty good when they're frozen.
Jim. We've lost Jim for a minute, folks. Sorry. the horse apples just did him in.
Jim,
Frozen.
Frozen. It's all right as long as you're not the goaltender.
yeah.
We used to make our nets with potato sacks, framed, and had the
Brown potato salad.
brown potato sacks. Because they were made of what's the material that those sacks were? Like it was like a yarn, but it wasn't a yarn. You know what I mean?
Potato sack material.
Yeah, potato sack material.
Jute or something.
Yeah. It gets by. Is that going to get by? Yes,
Olsen
it
with a
does.
Nice tucks that in there.
Nice shot by Olsen.
It was
Just
knitted.
a little
Yeah,
later
but
than
it's
she wanted.
not touching the rings. It's just outside.
Just gonna play a straight draw here.
Mashenko didn't look at this, but the slash over here on the intern side of the sheet, she slashes and makes the double. She's going to lie 3. Those are 3 counters at the back. I think there's 2 for sure and possibly a 3rd counter. We can't really see from our overhead, but it's very close. But she just went right down, and she's going to, she's focused on this 4-foot T-line weight. Be her in turn. Logan and Johnstone haven't touched it. Earlier in the game, they lost one like this. It looks a little hot, Pat.
13 seconds, it is a little warm.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Now they're coming. She had a lot of ice. It didn't vary very well, did it?
No, she's sitting shot though.
You see
And
half
here
a rock,
is
but
the-
there is a catcher. There is a red catcher
Yep.
behind it that belongs to British Columbia. It might be Olsen's taking a real good look at this. There is a hole. She could punch it straight back. And I think that's going to be the call.
Looks like what she's calling.
Her out turn, possibly a back ring weight.
She misses this at all, though. She could give another one up there. Pretty easy.
We're getting curl here today. Both turns,
Yeah.
both ends of the sheet, both sides of the sheet.
But it's been like this most of the winter. Well, we started curling back there with the Omega League in the afternoons, and it's been like this all year, curling both ways, and a lot of movement inside out on these sheets.
Olsen with the tap back, sliding west with the out turn.
That's her final shot here.
This is starting to cut on her.
Trying to hold it. I don't think that's going to rack up. So Saskatchewan has a draw. She can get that in there for 2.
That opens the door.
Yeah.
For sure it does. She could take the same ice she had last time, just follow her rock down now, I think. Looks like what she's going to do.
Newfoundland with the hammer and last shot of the 5th end on sheet D.
Hard to tell who's.
Looks like it could be one Newfoundland stone in play. She's drawing for 2. Out turn draws away. They haven't touched it. They're at the hog line. The brushers are laying down the brooms.
Here's the last shot for Saskatchewan here in the 5th end, trying to get their deuce. Sweepers are on it. Through the hole.
Mishenko with a big draw here for 2.
Lovely draw.
Lovely shot by Elaine. Gets their 2 points to take a commanding 5-1 lead. And how did things go in the other sheet there, Jim?
Well, they haven't indicated. It's very close. It looks her draw shot, her last shot was a little long, but it appears that she was drawing for 2. So I'm thinking Newfoundland got one. It's not posted yet.
It's like an election, and the results are coming in. We're just watching the ticker tape here.
Yeah,
I
And
think it was 1, yeah.
yeah, they only got 1 vote from the Eastern riding.
4-2 lead for Manitoba, and they have the hammer in the 6th. Missed opportunity from the
Yeah.
Newfoundlanders. Just slid a little bit to the back of the rings.
Saskatchewan bringing it right into the ring. So.
Lori Olson and her mates from the MacArthur Island Curling Club in Kamloops, an all-out effort here to get rocks in play and score here in this crucial sixth end, down 5-1. And Saskatchewan girls came to play this morning.
Yeah, certainly did. This is a war, and they're not taking prisoners here.
Well, we got some big events coming up on the curling calendar. Coming back to the east, the Scotties will be in Sydney, Nova Scotia, February 16th to 24th. Out in Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan is going to be a haven to great curling. December 5th to 9th, the Home Hardware Canada Cup will be out there. And then on the 19th January to the 27th in Prince Albert, Alberta, is the New Holland Canadian Juniors. Will be in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan hosting two big events. And then, of course, not too far away in Brandon, Manitoba, March 2nd to 10th, the Tim Hortons Briar. That's March 2nd to 10th in Brandon, Manitoba. And finishing off the 2019 World's Men's Curling Championship, and they'll be in Lethbridge, Alberta. So some big events happening around the country over the next 6 months.
And when was it? Continental Cup again?
Oh, the Continental one, let's see here. We have, that's down in Vegas.
Okay. In January.
In January 17th to 20th.
That seems to get a little bigger every year. And who would have thought Vegas would be
At the
place to go?
Orleans.
Who would have thought Vegas would have curling?
I think the Vegas Mavericks hockey team played out of that 8,000 seat facility. I was there in April at the World Curling.
Yeah. The Orleans Arena?
Yeah, the Orleans Arena.
The World Financial Group Continental Cup. Just a good trip to go to.
Oh, sounds like fun. Could even place a few bets on it, eh?
Well, Olsen has rocks in play now. They're positioned well here for Saskatchewan. They have shot. Number 2 belongs to the BC team.
I think she's going this way to try and set up a multiple score end here.
Yeah, she needs more than a single.
Osmashenko and her mates from the Moose Jaw Ford Curling Center, located in Mosaic Place in downtown Moose Jaw. May rub.
It is a little warm.
Down 4 and late in the game here, later on in the game, in the 6th end, you need rocks in play. Keep your rocks in play.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is with this 8 ends. Like,
Yeah. Gets over pretty quick.
it can get over pretty quick, and, you know, you can't just be picking away.
Club curling, guys, 8 ends at 6:30 draw and 8:30 draw.
And I like the 8 ends. It moves along quickly, and you see that a lot more in sports now, where they're trying to reduce the times down and
Allow for more commercial time.
Well,
speaking of commercials,
they got to do something about baseball.
oh. Well,
I mean,
I know
this stepping
what
up.
I do. I watch like the Blue Jays in 30.
Yeah.
I watch it the next day. I love that. Click that on. Get all the major stuff that happened in the whole game. 30
And the
minutes.
Raptors. The Raptors now.
Yes,
The
yeah, the
in
Raptors do
30.
that too.
I see them trying some of that with hockey too. Hockey 30 or something.
Here it is, a shot. Going to get a little hit and nudge. Well, we've got Saskatchewan sitting shot, and then there's a BC stone and two more. Well,
Yeah.
two more Saskatchewan rocks. So
Just taking out that red one, the Saskatchewan.
yeah, and the 12. Okay.
Sheet D, timeout call by Manitoba. They lie 2 and 4. No guards in front other than one corner. That's not going to affect the shot rock. For those who are from Newfoundland and Manitoba trying to follow along. 4-2 Manitoba leads Newfoundland. We're in the 6th end.
So Laurie's going to take a run at this one, eh?
Yeah. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Open this thing up.
Should end up with her lying one after this. She does it. The rock is cutting there.
Hold line. Get by the first. Yep. Bang. There you go. Nice shot and sitting 2.
Sets up a chance for a double here.
Oh boy, the food smells good in here. They've done a great job this week. The kitchen staff up here and the food. I had the hot turkey one day, and
Did you have the Atlantic salmon supper?
I never
with all the
had it last night
trimmings
because Brian was taking
Sounds
me out to
good.
steak dinner at Mike's. So. Takes care of one BC rock, but it looked. Did you guys have it? The salmon
No,
dinner?
I wasn't here, no.
Jim? No.
I missed it. I had hockey practice.
All right.
Oh,
Jim is
no,
this. We did. I thought they were over in the island.
They were, but I had the seaweeds.
Okay. Fine. But it looked
Yeah,
really
I
good.
missed it.
Mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
strawberry shortcake was going on there. They've had the clam chowder, seafood chowder they have here. It was going like
I don't know. I think it's clam chowder.
clam chowder, yeah. Just wanting that to. Trying to get that in behind some coverage here. Now they're on it. Wanting to bend some more in there. There, BC is sitting 1-2. I see what's going to happen here with the little hit and roll.
She's been throwing well, so.
Yep.
Newfoundland with a hit to lie 3 on sheet D, trailing 4-2. We're into mate stones. The 4-foot's open.
The week has gone fast, though, hasn't it, gentlemen?
It certainly has.
We started here. I know the teams arrived on Saturday, most of them. And there was receptions and meetings on Sunday, practice on Monday, and we started our first draw Monday afternoon. The ladies started everything off at 3 p.m., and then there was opening ceremonies, and the men took to the ice Monday night at 7:30. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were full days, 4 draws each day, and that's how we got to this juncture of the championships now. The tie break. This afternoon will be the championship quarters, and then tonight at 6:30 will be the championship semis. That's just gone up right to it. It gets a little nudge, and it will become a shot rock.
Chance to lay 3 here.
Yeah, she just wants a hit and a little. I think she'd like to have a little roll in behind some coverage.
Hit and roll
Forcing,
here, put some pressure on.
Well, that's it. Well, force.
Saskatchewan.
That's what she was looking for to build that in.
Yeah, this. It's Lori's first shot.
See what kind of weight she throws at this. Not moving too much. Might take out her own here. Jam that yellow one onto her.
Gonna hit and go the other way. Take out one of her own.
Yeah.
And she's gonna lose her shooter.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. BC continues to lie one, though.
It's a little frustrating when you've made these shots before and then all of a sudden you can't find quite the right weight to do it.
Now, have you guys found, you've played a lot of different times of days.
Yeah.
Do you find morning different than afternoon or evening for you? Like, do you find you play better in the morning, or do you play better in the evening or afternoon?
It didn't matter to me. I don't think
Jim?
so. Like, the evening draws are nice when there's more people in the rink in a tournament atmosphere.
I've coached at the university level for 30, 35 years. Different team athletes, and everyone gets into a routine when you practice and when you play.
Yeah.
And I can remember in high school we always practiced after school and played our games after school in the evening. And then I can remember my first tournament. We played in the morning. I never practiced in the morning, and the feel and the touch was not there.
Yeah.
And it was very frustrating because she missed that.
Yeah.
She was hopping on the icing lane. She wanted that one.
Chance for two for Olsen.
Yeah.
There. No,
But I'm just wondering because I know.
I feel more relaxed in the evenings.
Yes.
Myself,
Okay.
I go because.
Morning,
I don't
evening
know.
draws, right after lunch.
Yeah,
It's
but morning
it's tough.
is.
It's tough right after lunch sometimes to play.
I think your body's just
What-
getting out of bed and it hasn't
Yeah.
woken all of itself up yet. So.
Well, we did the Monktonian hockey tournament there last week. 56 teams, 24 Bantam AAA teams, and 32 midget AAA. And I had a chance to talk to the coaches because they're playing at different times of day. And he said, what we do, we have a practice in the morning once a week, we have practice in the afternoon, and we practice in the evening. So the kids are used to it.
Yeah.
Here it is, the last shot here of the sixth end. BC wants to get back in it here. They're wanting to get two. The sweepers are on it, and that's starting to bite, Jim.
It's really digging in.
Get it by the first. They're trying to drag it in, but it's not going to happen. So 1 point.
All that work.
Yeah. So BC gets one, but Saskatchewan will take that, and they'll go up 5-2 with Hammer in the seventh. So anyway, getting back to the hockey, he said, Keith, you bring up a really good point. He said that's why we schedule our practice. Like you said, we have one early morning practice once a week, once after school, and then we'll have an evening practice and do our things just so the players are used to how their body reacts
different times of the day.
different times of day. And that's why I was wondering here. I said, typically senior, you're always playing after work or in the evening. There's
Final shot, Ice D. McCreener, Manitoba skip, hitting for two, hits and rolls out. So with the Hammer, they take one in the sixth, and they go up by a score of 5-2, Keith.
Yeah. So that was, and you get maybe certain teams or players will try to get up in the morning and throw some rocks and stuff and just try to get that feel, right? That touch, that feel. And
Yeah, well, now most of my running's in the afternoon, about 1:30 to 3:30 in there.
Yes.
And I'm probably more comfortable with that because that's what I do all the time.
Yep.
So.
Feel and touch. There's a curler out of St. John, Richard Bellier. Remember Richard? Yeah. Richard said, always keep a little bit of sandpaper in your bag just to rub it on your fingertips. That's the touch and the feel.
Yeah.
And he did actually have some. So just keep that little sandpaper there so you can always have that touch and feel. And many of the curlers may remember him from the Victoria in '84. He played mate for...
Did he have the hat or the whistle?
He had the whistle. Ernie Dobson had the hat. He played with Ernie Dobson.
Okay, right.
7-0 in Victoria. He ended up missing the playoff. But whistle tooting Richard Bellier.
Yeah.
He was a dandy.
Well, I can remember golfing.
That only lasted the 1 year, the whistle.
Yeah,
they took that out.
Yeah,
they took that out of the equation. He said, "You're not calling dogs here."
Oh, very distracting. I think Paul Gausel mimicked the whistle there for a couple of years. Former World Junior Champion.
Yeah.
I know in BC, probably in Saskatchewan too, we have quite a few golfers. A lot of people curl, love to golf. I worked in a golf course in the summertime back going to university, and we always played after work.
Yeah.
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock tee off time. There's a nice shot there, peel out. And so they said, boys, you should go in a tournament. And, you guys hit a pretty good ball. And I think I had my handicap down to... I was down to about a 5 handicap at one time. So I said, that sounds like fun. Well, I never played golf in the morning. First I'll get up at 7, get out to the golf course, take some swings. I tell you, the first 3 holes were a total mystery. I couldn't feel the club. I couldn't feel my putt. It was hit and whack for about 3 holes, and about the 4th hole I started to warm up a bit, but I never played in the morning. It was always 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the time I was teeing off every day.
I know what you mean. I was a member of the club over here for quite a while, and doing some starting for them too, so I was there early in the morning most of the time, 7 o'clock or something. So when I come down and we had a league play there, and you'd be playing in the evening there, start at 4 o'clock and finish at 6 or 7. That was a little different when I started in that league because most of my stuff was morning.
Morning person.
Yeah.
Here we are. The shot's trying to come in a bit, and she gets it. Yeah.
And
it just rolls to the 12 there. Nice shot.
This game is they're moving right along.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we're in the 7th end already. If you're just tuning in,
the score in both games 5-2 here now.
Yeah.
So.
This is an 8-end game unless we go to extras.
Yeah, for sure.
Teams were 3-3 after round robin play. This is a tie break. Winner of this goes to the quarterfinals today at 1:30. The winner of this game will play Ontario, and in the other tie break, Manitoba and Newfoundland are playing off, and the winner of that will play Alberta, also at 1:30. Getting a bye to the semis is Nova Scotia and Northwest Territories.
Yeah, and that was a big surprise. Northwest Territories getting in there and only losing 1 game in the round robin is a tremendous accomplishment. Jim's taking a break.
He's doing some reporting work, roving. He's a roving reporter.
Yeah. Picked himself up a coffee or something, I think. Well, maybe not.
Water. Must protect the instrument.
Kelsey Martin getting ready to throw here. BC. Hmm? Oh yeah. Just a lull before the storm here. That's a,
It's got a big day here. They want to talk about it. Kudos has to go out to Sean Ingersoll and his committee putting this event together, and all the many, many volunteers that has helped. If you haven't, I had a chance to interview Sean yesterday, and how this sort of got going was Sean and a group team from curling club here won the provincial Travelers there a few years ago, and I went to Ottawa for the championship and checked everything out, and he said, boys, we could do this, you know. We got a great facility here, so lobbied Curl Canada hard and talked to some local sponsors and the club here, and lo and behold, 3 years later, Jim, Pat, and Keith are broadcasting.
Well,
the national.
One of the ones that really helped when I was on the team was Hubert Willis. He's got an advertisement out there, and he did a lot of work to get this here too, and got a lot of the sponsors come aboard. So there's quite a few people that did a lot of work to get.
Yeah,
here.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen. So we got
Candace Newkirk here going to throw. And
yeah, Saskatchewan is
asking for
shot. Second is.
I think she wants to take those red ones off the top. Can hit her own yellow and take it out.
Once you hit that yellow, hit the red. There she does. Yeah, nice shot.
She gets it's a Saskatchewan rock, and they've only got one guard up there now, and she get rid of the yellow one over there, which was causing them a problem too. So good shot all around. It did more than one job.
Yeah, she was multitasking there.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've been in like Saturday mode all week, because you're at the curling rink where you know usually it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
yeah.
Depending on the tournament. So I got here Monday, I got back to my hotel, start turning on. Where's the hockey game? There's Saturday night hockey game. And they go, it's Monday.
And the only hockey game on TV last night was Ontario OHA games, because.
Thanksgiving down in the States.
There wasn't one NHL
There was no basketball or anything on. There was just football.
Yeah, one football game and one OHL game last night.
Jeez, thank you. I don't know what that was all about.
I don't know.
Anyway, I guess it's supposed to be one of the busiest travel days on the calendar down in the U.S., so they figured people wouldn't be going to the stadiums and rinks, and maybe.
Now they get to their madness shopping time.
Oh, right. Mad. Well, it does help retail up in this part of when the snow hits the ground, everyone gets panic mode. Here's the shot coming in. Sweepers are on it. They want to try to bury that as much as possible.
It's open.
Yeah.
Pretty wide open. But they're laying two now.
Yeah, shot 1-2 for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, so Laurie will be. It's hard when you get to this point.
In our other tiebreaker on sheet D, Manitoba continues to lead Newfoundland 5-2. They lie 1-2-3 in the rings, in the top of the seventh inning. And
we planted that seed with baseball, you see?
I think so.
So the Newfoundland skipper and her maid are discussing their options. 3 Manitoba stones in the ring, and they lead by 3, 5-2 in the seventh.
In our end, we are starting skip stones. Laurie is discussing strategy.
And letting her time run down. They haven't used the timeout yet.
No. And of course, you know, they're not only talking about their shot, but then they're talking about, well, what does that leave them?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if we do this and we go there, what would she do? So the decision has been rendered. Lori working her way back to the hack for her first shot here in the 7th end. Like, where did the time go, guys? We just sat down here a few minutes ago, didn't we?
Just flying.
Are you enjoying yourselves this week, boys, up in the booth, talking to the world? It's under 2 million people listening to us right now. Well,
having a great time.
Well under 2 million, but
They only listen a short while, and then they turn it off.
Yeah,
Just
mute.
put it on mute. No, well, we'll just watch the game.
Yeah, just watch it.
Because they're not paying any attention to it at all.
We do have some nuggets that we give out every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
So, but we're so happy that you folks can tune in to watch the championships and support your teams wherever you might be, if you're in Saskatchewan or BC, or maybe even some warmer climates. We've got friends and family down south enjoying the warmth of the sun. Here's that shot coming through. It looks a little hot.
It is a bit. Yeah, she's on it, and yes, it is. Right to the back 12.
Yeah, and I don't think she's sitting. It's third shot.
She's not having one of her better days so far. And she gives up a couple here. Doesn't look too good right now. And there's 3 over on your sheet there. You're looking at 2, Jim?
Jim, hot guy Jim is he's getting.
Newfoundland is down. They're down to their last shot. 2 Manitoba counters. 1 on the 4-foot. 1 are off to the at 9 o'clock on the 12-foot. Nonetheless, Manitoba lies 2. Newfoundland with their last shot from Skip Osborne. Down 3 points. He'd like to score here in the 7th.
Looking for a nose hit there.
Nose hit would do it. And there's the out-turn hit. It's on its way.
First shot for Elaine and the Saskatchewan team in this 7th end.
You may hear by the applause 1 point for Newfoundland on the takeout. 5-3.
This looks a little heavy too there coming in, but it's got a catcher back there.
Yeah.
So they're sitting 3 now.
Lori probably try that same shot and sit on top of them. And probably give her number 1 out of it if she does. We shall see.
A big kudos has to go out to the minor officials, the umpires, whatnot. I hope they're dressed really, really warm, because they're out there every game. They're sitting, like at least the players are moving around and sweeping and whatnot. And but the umpires, the officials, they've got to sit there, make sure everything is under control on their sheet. They get up now and then to put the scores up, but
I know what that's like. I've done that before.
Got it through the hole.
Canada Winter Games.
On it hard here. They want to get it in.
It's
and,
number 1.
Yeah, it is shot.
Gives the decision to Elaine to see what she's going to do now.
Great job by Robitaille and Barassa to get that rock just full 8-foot.
Yeah.
Right sweeping.
Saskatchewan has loads of time on their clock. They're at 6:12 now, and they want a timeout.
You got it.
We got a timeout on Saskatchewan, and just more or less just what they want to do here on their last shot. It is 5-2. If they can get that one, they've got the next 3 shots.
Yeah.
But this could be the game right here. Would you concur with that, Jim?
I'd have to agree.
Begrudgingly, you would have to.
Well, I'm thinking that they might be playing this intern like a little bit of a slash through. But I think they're also looking at the outturn, which is a
Hit their yellow
bit more difficult.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Although it's more open. You're not going to save the shooter, and chances are the rock you promote might not stay in the rings also. But with this ice pat, she's playing to advance her stone, number 2 rock.
Looks like it might be, yeah.
Just pop it ahead a little bit, and with the 5-2 lead, you have room to play with this.
Yeah, even if they happen to give one up here, it's still 5-3 coming home. They got the hammer 2 up with in the 8th end, so not too much to lose here, I don't think.
Mashenko was set to deliver in the hack, and because of the takeout here on sheet D, she decided to reset, refocus.
Final shot, 7th end for Saskatchewan.
She hasn't missed much. She's played very strong game.
The sweepers are
Looks a little light.
working hard at it here. By the first. Nope. There's a steal. Steal of 1 for BC. So it's 5-3. Now, you let BC off the hook there.
Well, as I say, you still have hammer. And
You still have hammer 5-3.
and you're coming home.
Makes it a little more interesting here, coming home in the 8th end.
I just want to say Northern Ontario was up 7-4 on Saskatchewan. Men
Yeah.
lost 8-7. They scored 4 in the.
Well, it can happen.
Yeah.
Newfoundland
And the
on
scary
sheet
thing
D.
is, Ontario had the hammer, slid through, had to draw in. It just had to draw in, right? There was 4 rocks and drew in. It got a little heavy. Just kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
Right out the back.
Nothing to hit on the way by, and
Nope. They were just. There's
yeah.
guards out in front. There was an alleyway to come in, and he found the alley and just slid on through.
A little too much weight.
Yeah.
Well, 1 rock in play, 15 to come.
When you say it that way, there's a lot of rocks, right? Wow, 15.
Yeah. We're not playing marbles there.
So we'll be back on the air at 1:30 this afternoon. Have time. We have a little lunch. I don't know what the lunch special is today.
I don't know.
I don't know if we're into leftovers yet. I heard something about lasagna. I had that yesterday, so I don't know if that's.
I got to go home and cook my stuff for tonight's
The wild.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Wild game night or
wild meat.
wild meat night?
What do you have up your sleeve?
What's
for
on
later
the
today?
recipe?
What have I got?
What's on the menu?
I'm making moose meat pies.
Moose meat pies.
Wow.
And what are the ingredients
Moose
besides
meat.
moot meat?
Well, a little bit of ground pork in it.
Do you put little peas in it, carrots in it too?
No, just the meat and onions and a bit of sage.
Kind of sauce? Yeah.
Something I'll mix real well with the captain.
As long as you got lots of captain,
You,
you're all right
You have to boil the meat
for 2 days.
no, just this afternoon because
Yeah.
I got to bring it for tonight.
All right. There's a shot and a little roll in.
Then I have to make some dough and roll it out and put it into my. I usually use tart tins to put it in.
Look at you. You're
Oh,
just
yeah. Well, I'm a chef, you know,
a chef.
in my own
My.
mind.
Like, yeah, you've gone right from cook to chef.
Yeah.
That's a big leap.
Well, I've only been
So
doing-
moose meat pie.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. And you guys been doing this for how many years?
30-some years.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that something?
We used to get T-shirts for it, but
Yeah.
we give up on that.
85, 86, I believe.
And how many participants in this?
Last year we had about 100 and
What?
some down there.
And they all bring something.
Yeah. Some of them only bring like a salad or something.
Yeah.
but-
Well, yeah. You need salads.
Yeah. Or they bring, French bread or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But a lot of the guys will make different things. Moose meat pizza, for God's sakes, They do that too. Yeah. I tried all kinds of things.
You just never know, folks, when you tune in,
Or dips.
what you might hear.
Or we have a lot of sausages and smoked meat, deer meat, and moose meat.
It's a shop. Want to get
Sometimes rabbit, porcupine, and
took away her rocks.
yeah, she got a kiss over there and over here and made a double with it.
Yeah. Well, if the idea was to keep the house clean, she did it.
Got it clean.
On sheet D, we're down to Skip Rocks and our other tiebreaker. 5-3 Manitoba leads with the hammer. Newfoundland with one in the top 4 with the center guard. Skipper Osborne is going to attempt to put another one into the rings. Just biting the top 12, she's indicating. And away she goes. Off to the hack.
How,
Duck casserole.
oh my God. Okay,
Black
let it go,
duck.
guys. Let it go.
Yeah,
Duck
cheese.
casserole. Jim's back. You could tell he was thinking that. You could tell he
I'm
was
trying to
quiet
think
over
what I
there
made
for a
a
while.
few years
See a
ago.
little
My
smoke
wife
around
made.
Yeah.
down there. I got to come up with something here.
Got a little roll. How have Sean and them found the attendance this week?
Oh, they're very
Are they
pleased.
happy?
Very pleased.
Yeah, because downstairs there's a viewing area, and they brought in some risers, and the seats. Would there be room for 100 or more there?
Yeah, I'd say.
And there are people standing, and then we have people upstairs here in the viewing area looking down. So
And we had that back room there where they had the patch and the entertainment. It's like the patch at a Briar.
yeah, well,
Type of thing,
it's a great setup here. There's a
Many of the fans say, well, I bought a pass, got to the curling rink, weekly pass, and I probably haven't watched.
That's hot. That's going right through. That's a.
Any one game any more than 3 ends because they get talking to everybody.
Well,
One
it's like
time,
old home
everybody's
week,
everybody's
right?
curled and
We've had a rough after Thanksgiving. The weather has not been the greatest. High winds and rain, and it's nice to have an event where everyone can come and see each other, and they get caught up. Activities are just shot. Getting rid of that, moving that out of the way. Saskatchewan obviously would like to keep this as clear as possible.
Absolutely. You don't want rocks and play when you're up by 2.
Yeah.
Manitoba skipper just gets by the guard. Big takeout to line number 2. And just around 11 o'clock on the top of the 4-foot. And Newfoundland skip now with the draw to the 4-foot, in-turn draw.
We have a timeout on our sheet here. BC looking for a timeout to discuss what we're going to do there.
Pat, I'm looking forward to Bob Mason's roast goose.
Yeah, Canada
Yeah,
Goose.
Bob's one of our cooks here in the kitchen. Cooks
Usually
Canada
makes,
Goose every year.
Canada Goose with wild rice and a bit of wild rice.
Okay, you guys are like really making me hungry. So you know I didn't have breakfast. Okay, fine. You just keep going with the duck pies and the moose pies and the goose now.
And
the rice, the bed of rice.
I made porcupine balls one year.
Okay, we can't even go there.
Oh, yes, yeah. It's just ground porcupine.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Rice
Like
and
meatballs and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, porcupine.
partridge balls, the same
Yeah.
thing. With it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
white meat.
Brent does those all the time. Deep fries them.
Yeah.
And we probably have striped bass this year, and salmon, and
Oh, yeah.
In the men's quarterfinals today at 1:30, Manitoba will be taking on Ontario, and the winner of that will go on to play BC this evening at 6:30. And in the other quarterfinal is the Saskatchewan men will be playing against a very hot Quebec team who won their last 2 games to get into the playoffs. The Saskatchewan outstanding team, former champions of the Travelers. And the winner of that will play this evening in the semifinals against Nova Scotia men. So that is the men's side. So Manitoba, Ontario, they'll be playing this afternoon at 1:30. And Saskatchewan and Quebec also at 1:30. And so that was men's quarterfinals.
our game on D is over.
It's official on D. The other tiebreaker, 5-4 Manitoba. Newfoundland just came a bit long in their draw. Manitoba skipper didn't have to throw her last rock, so they advance with the 5-4 win over Newfoundland.
One red rock there, and she's asking her to take that out of there.
Job, mission accomplished. Get the, when the broom goes up from the skip, that means good.
Yeah. Always is.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job.
Oh, Solson's got to get her 2 in and counting in order to get an extra end out of this. Still got lots of time left with 2 minutes for 2 rocks. Plenty of time. We'll try and draw behind cover here, I suppose.
She locks us in here, Pat. They have a chance. Rocks are staggered. She's trying to come behind the corner. This will really jump.
Oh, look at that bite. Wow. Did you see that turn there in the last 3 feet?
It looked like it picked something right there.
It
Yeah.
appeared to have lost his
It
handle.
wasn't curling.
Yeah,
It just
it
shot.
It picked something up definitely there.
That's it.
They're hanging it up.
Shaking hands.
It's 5-3 is our
Saskatchewan.
final. Saskatchewan moves on, and they'll play this afternoon against Ontario. And then the other, as Jim reported on, Manitoba defeated Newfoundland 5-4. And so Manitoba and Alberta at 1:30 this afternoon, and Saskatchewan will be taking on the women of Ontario. So on behalf of myself, the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship from the Miramichi Curling Club in Miramichi, New Brunswick, this is Keith Rains and Jim Matheson and Pat Waldiff. Thank you guys for helping out.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Keith. Thank you. Enjoyed it.
And I hope you folks enjoyed it, and we'll see you this afternoon at 1:30.
Have a good time. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.